Well, hello, and thank you for joining me again on my episode, which is Series 1, episode number 7 now. And I'm on part 2 of my last episode, which I was talking about self-sabotage and around weight loss. Why is that happening? So now I'm going to, recap on what I spoke about in my last episode, and that being that there's no perfect way to lose weight and there's no perfect body. Okay, we are our own worst enemies at times, and that's, I guess, where that saying comes from, because again, we create ourselves as an enemy because of the voices that come into our head to tell us that we are failures, and we're too fat, and we're never going to be able to do this. I mean, never's a hard word. Never, or the I am comes in, I am fat, I am ugly, I am hopeless, I am useless. Okay, when we say these things, we need to stop. And I hope you've pulled out a journal or started a journal or a little notebook in your handbag for when these I ams or these horrible sayings come in to our heads, that we can write them down and stop and have a look at them and understand, why am I saying this to myself? How true is it with what I'm saying to myself? Again, when you've got the strength around you and believe in yourself and love who you are and the skin that you're in, you will realize that they are just so untrue, these statements that come into our head and into our hearts and our emotions, and it just becomes a roller coaster, and it's horrid. So if you're wanting to lose weight, and you even have that mentality where you think that you're missing out on something, if you're going to have to lose weight, you're going to have to miss out on the things that you like, that's so not true. I mean, I'm in a maintenance stage every day of my life, and that's what we do. We just maintain the skin that we're in, the weight that we're carrying, who we are every single day. It's not a brain drain every day of me to have to think, what do I put into my mouth today? Is it going to serve me? Is it not going to serve me? That's just overwhelming. Now, I know I've been doing this a very long time, but it's the same thing with yourself. You will get to that point where you understand that it doesn't have to be a consuming of you needing to worry about these things and what you're going to miss out on, because you miss out on absolutely nothing. Okay, I'm missing out on absolutely nothing. If I want to have a coffee and cake with the girls, I'll go and do it. If I want to have, a hamburger and some chips at the beach with my family, I'll do it. But I'm not going to do that every single day, because that's when I will actually self-sabotage myself, knowing that those food choices are not really serving me. And I don't even want that. But every now and again I do, and it's relaxing with it. And again, no voice comes into my head when I have it. I just have it, enjoy it, and then get on with it. So I want to see you get to that point too, where you stop self-sabotage. But look, we talked about, the diet mentality in the last episode, and we, we've been on that roller coaster ride possibly many, many times before, where we've been led to believe that, these fast fad diets are the way to go because they're a quick fix. Well, they are a quick fix, because what you're doing when you go on these diets is that you're eliminating fats and sugars and trans fats and carbohydrates, and off it goes. But you cannot sustain it. So a diet will work for the short term. It will not work long term. So again, when you go back to your normal eating patterns, what goes is that you put all that weight back on again, plus more. Now, we know that roller coaster, it doesn't work. Get rid of it. Never go on a diet again, and get rid of that mentality that they will work, because they cannot work long term. And what you're looking for is the position that I'm fortunately in, and that is that food doesn't consume me. Okay, I don't think about it. It's just off the radar. So I want that for you. I want it for you. You deserve it. But the only way it's going to change is to come now deep into yourself to understand why. Where is this stemming from? These ugly voices that come into your head and tell you horrid things that are just not true about you. So bear with me. I'm going to go back and take you to your child. Now, when you were growing up to, living at home, you possibly had parents or carers around you, up to the age of about 7 or 8, this is the age where you're pretty much guided by your parents. And as I said in the last episode, there's no real manual back then as to tell you what to do and what to say and how to do everything. There's no manual there today to tell you what to say to a child. We wing it as parents, and we really wing it by what we were taught. You know, what we saw as children, and then what we were taught. And then as we grow up into adults, we go, oh, well, okay, now I know, because that's the way I had something done, said, felt, whatever it might be, I now push that onto my child. But as we were growing up as children, we often got rewarded for the great things that happened, or, you know, things that we did or experienced, or the award we came home from school with, or whatever it might be. But then we got scolded when we didn't do something right. So of course what happens is we create these patterns. We start to realise, well, that's going to get me into a negative situation, that's a positive situation. And of course we fall into negatives so often in life that of course we see ourselves as a failure. And that's where that little, you know, scratch on the CD or the record starts to scratch its way into your life record. Okay, it's etched in there. It starts to etch on the emotional side, and you don't know how to fix it at that age because your parents are not giving you the encouragement. You know, you're looking for encouragement. Can you imagine if you got your school report, come home at the age of say 7, and it said, little Louise is not doing as good as she should be. She's distracting everybody in class, and she's a little bit naughty, and she throws the rubber across the room. Wouldn't that be fun? But can you imagine if I came home with that school report, and how wonderful it would be if my mother or my father and or both would then say to me, well, Louise, can you see how you went this year, okay, in your school report? How do you feel with the comments that are being made? Could have you done better? What could have you done to do better? And then if I come up with the answers to that, oh, I could have not thrown the rubber across the room, I could have not pulled Mary's hair next to me, whatever it might be, okay, I start to learn from those experiences. And so therefore, that encouragement, instead of scolding, hey Louise, you did a terrible job on your school report, what's wrong with you? Why couldn't you do any better? I'm so disappointed in you. Okay, it's etched into my record or my CD of life. It's the CD I put under my arm and I take to the next stage of my life. When I don't have that encouragement, it's etched. And if you didn't have the encouragement, high chance, and you could be doing this to your kids today, high chance that there's not enough encouragement, not enough learning. So therefore we etch it in, put it under our arm and step into adolescent. Now from the age of 8, 9, 10, 11, right through to 19, 20, this is the adolescent stage of life, and this is the stage of life where we're starting to be able to have more leeway with our parents. We break away from them a little bit more. We start to find our feet on the ground. We start to realise that we have the ability to make decisions. But this is the really traumatic time of our lives where there's so much change going on, and then this is where the voices are truly created. This is when they reflect back to when you were a child, and then also they come into you as an adolescent, where you don't have to go to your parents anymore to find out how to handle something. You handle it yourself. And the way you handle it yourself, because you don't know how to handle a situation that's negative, is that you self-sabotage. So again, it gets imprinted into your CD, into your record. And of course I grew up with records, which is why I'm giving you that analogy, but into that record or CD of life, and it's truly etched, and it's such a big period of your life from the age of 8 through to 20, around that age. And can you imagine how many experiences you've had and how much you've etched into your record CD in life? Thousands and thousands of negatives, loads of positives, but thousands and thousands of negatives. And of course, you pick up your record CD, pop it under your arm, and you step into adult. And then as adult, of course, what do? We've already got only the CD or the record of life to be able to fall back on to bring the lessons out, and the lessons out in there are just negative, because we haven't been really taught what it is we need to do, and that's what we need to change. Right here, right now, recognise your CD. Let me know that this makes sense to you, because that is life's journey. That is the way we move into the adult that we are, and this is why we often, even though we're adult, and I do this too, we fall into adolescent again, and sometimes we even fall into child again. And that's okay, but it's recognizing when you do. So when these voices come in your head, when this, oh, I'm going to be a failure, I'm going to miss out on stuff, are you? Ask yourself the question, I'm going to miss out on so much if I lose weight. Are you? How true is that statement? 100% true. How 100% true is that statement that you're going to miss out? How is that 100% true that you are a failure? It's not. It's what you've allowed yourself to believe. Okay? And it can be turned around, it can be all those sabotaging beliefs and thoughts and voices and everything we've etched into that CD can be turned around, but it's taken a while to get there. So it needs to take a while to be absolutely able to free yourself from all of that. And the only way I can do that, I gave you step 1, is start to write everything down and recognize it. Recognize when they come in and ask yourself that question as step 2. How true is this? How 100% true am I right now believing that what I think or what I've written down on that page is 100% true? Okay, now you could again bring the adolescent out and goes, it is 100% true, that's exactly how you are. Okay, but that's again the adolescent speaking. Can you understand that? It is, it's the adolescent speaking. You need to step in as an adult as fact and truth. What is the factual truth about that statement you've written down about yourself? If it's not 100%, if it's 99, 98, 97%, it's not 100% true. So get rid of it. And let's reverse psychology this with something positive of what you're trying to do to rid that CD. Okay, get the cleaner, get out the scratches, and then have a nice clean slate to speak and empower yourself with who you are and the skin that you're in and everything. Because when you've got that freedom and that clarity, everything just flows so beautifully. And the choices you make and your body shape, which is not the most important thing, it's internally the health that's going on inside of you. It all comes together. And of course you feel more empowered within yourself, so you're happier within yourself too. It is a journey, and it's a journey right to the finish line, and none of us know when that is. But don't take that journey with so many boulders falling in front of you that you can't move forward, because they can all be crumbled, they can all be, disappear. Only you can do that. So really, I hope you understand that analogy. That is the deep set analogy of why we've got this self-sabotage around wanting to lose weight. It's something we've heard, something we've felt, something we've seen, not even always around weight loss. It's something that's happened in the child, probably more so in the child, but being reinforced in the adolescent. Okay, now my homework for you, if you'd like some homework to really get on your journey with this one, is to sit in quiet and have a think about where you were at as a child. What one thing, two things, three things come up. They might bring up emotion, and if they do, let that emotion rise, because that's the one big hurdle that you'll get over. Once it's gone and the emotion, the recognitions come up of what's created this belief, this false belief, you'll get rid of it. It's gone forever because you understand where it stemmed from. It's so empowering. I'm super excited for you. So please sit in that adolescent, and if it's not adolescent, if you think it's in child, sit in child, I should be saying, sit in child first. And if you don't think it's child, sit in adolescent and see if it's something that, again, when you have the freedom of being an adolescent and making your own decisions, were you making the wrong decisions that weren't serving you? Okay, once you've got that clarity, you're able to then bring out the adult in fact and truth, and then be able to talk back to yourself or write back to yourself with what you're doing to change that up. Okay, I hope you understand where I'm coming from in that direction, because it's so empowering if you do. I'll see you on my next episode. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you subscribe to my channel and follow me on social media plugged in on your screen right now. Thank you, and stay healthy, stay happy.